Good evening, my Yankee Doodle friends, on what is a light touch All-Star Atlantic League Thursday tonight. This is the Game Engine catching up with the weird round of fixtures it chucked up a few weeks back. So we should be all back up to level games played, I think, after tonight-ish. So here's the fixtures. We've got a local fire against a short pump sloths. So we got Memphis Reigns against the Des Moines Demons. We got Pelham against Steam Pigs and the Bisons against the Gators. A couple of shout outs: Seen Tato, Mega Horse, Scotty Sadler, who's in the chat, Steve, who's walking from the pub. Yeah, we'll pop you a little bit later, Steve. So I think we'll just go in the order that they appear, and we'll start with the resurgent El Logo Fire, who are starting to pick up the points slowly and putting pressure on the Dandies against the short pump sloths tonight. Now, this game is not necessarily important in terms of the conference teams, but in terms of that wider overall league, that Tato is kind of tracking. We have a local fire on 7 points and the short pump sloths on 12. So in terms of those overall kind of positions, those overall 12 league places, this is pretty big. And I have checked and double checked this 3 times now, Scott, because of the errors I've made with your teams over the last couple of weeks. So this is how the El Loco boys go. Same tactic file, but just a few changes in personnel. Fernando Torres leads the line, the midfield DM line of Lee Young Pio, Van Bronckhorst, Milevski and Zanoni. Ferdinand and Southgate at the back. And I say that, and I don't know if you put a captain. So let me just check that as well. Let's just check if he put a skipper, Scotty. And Scotty has went for this kind of new build. Scotty, you didn't name a captain, so just let us know who you want, mate. This kind of youth build of the team, which is really, really interesting. We pointed out a couple of times there's only 2 players in the whole squad over the age of 30, and one of them's a goalkeeper. I think it's a really exciting way to kind of go about it. And that is how they go tonight. And Scott, if you pop your captain in the chat, I'll make sure that I assign it. Over to the short pump sloths, who have been a little bit busy. Nicky Butt and Alessandro Del Piero have came into the squad in place of the departed Roy Keane, who wasn't really good for them. He was okay, but had a little bit of a dodgy run of form over the last couple of games that had made Rob decide to kind of part with him. Tonight, Marcelo Salas moves over to the kind of forward right. Del Piero on debut over to the forward left, and Nicky Butt takes the place of Roy Keane in that DMC. The short pump sloths have been on a bit of a shit run, 1 win in about 6 or 7, and Scotty will be hoping that the local fire revival can hold true. Scott, mate, I haven't seen you in the chat post about your skipper. Last comment was at a minute past, so I'm just going to give you about 30 or 40 seconds more just while we do that. Rob, you've just read me mind. I was going to ask when the cup comes up if managers can kind of let us know whether we want to do a live show or whether we just want to play them offline. I think everybody's drawn against the lower opposition, so I'm not sure what value the cup might have, unless a couple of shows time. And I think Dan is thinking about doing a Sunday night bank holiday stream, so I'll get packs out straight away after this tonight. Scott, mate, I'm just going to take it that the game has selected Rio Ferdinand as skipper, and it's just going to stay as is. So here we go, a local fire versus the short pump sloths getting underway. The Alessandro involved early doors. Del Piero with an early chance puts it wide, misses the target. Andre there at the back looked like a dive by one of the short pump sloths players. Zanoni puts it wide. Lots of chances either side, and Andre doubles it and fumbles it, but then does actually save the ball. Short pump sloths coming into this a little bit more. It's been a while since we've seen the local fire have a chance on target. Claims for a penalty, and Fernando Torres is injured. And it's just not really happening for a local fire. Short pumps really looked on top there for a decent chunk of that first half. Andre had made a couple of mistakes. Fernando Torres down on 45% in terms of condition. And we'll see what Scotty wants to do. Alan Smith there on his bench is the natural replacement, so we'll just give him about 20 seconds or so. And if he doesn't make a contribution, then we will put Alan Smith on as a like-for-like change. Van der Vaart in there, who has been pretty solid for him, and probably the best we've ever seen Van der Vaart in any kind of form of competitive champ over the first 7 games. Interestingly, no assists, which is usually where he has an impact, but he does have 3 goals to his name. We're going to move over to submitting Alan Smith as the sub, and we're going to crack on. 33 minutes played. Van der Vaart with a chance. Alan Smith hits the post. El Loco Fire have done nothing for 30 minutes, and then Alan Smith comes on with his first touch of the game and hits the post. Lee Young Pure's offside. Can the short pump sloths get the goal that their dominance deserves in this first half? Riyadh with half a chance, Khan saves, and we get to half time. On balance, match stats wise, pretty even. 4 shots, 1 on target for the sloths and 2 on target for the El Loco Fire. But actually, in terms of the text and in terms of the kind of visuals, it looked as though the sloths were bang on top. Ayala continuing to prove people like me wrong, who think he's an absolute liability, has actually been really, really solid for Rob at the back there. Very little of the ball for the Sloths, but just really trying to make use of it. D'Alessandro's name has been mentioned a hell of a lot, and he is having a massive impact there in terms of passes relative to the rest of the 11. Over to the local Fireboys, 7s and 6s with no 8s, and again, just really struggling to hold that ball in the midfield. It's a bit of a kind of tennis match at the minute, nothing really sticking out, and we'll see what both Rob and Sloth want to do. Probably no reason for the Sloth man to change it, and he does go as is until 60. Scotty, we'll just give you about 10 more seconds. I thoroughly appreciate you're in the middle of nowhere at the minute, probably on a. There we go, Scotty. Good stuff. Thank you very much, my man. And we will roll till 60 with the pair of them. Tato delighted that the two players he's transferred out are on 6s on debut, 51 minutes played. Carlos Jacques is in there, in off the post. Scott Wright to hold his nerve. Van Bronckhorst hits the post, and there is Rafael van der Vaart, who on the click, jumping from 59 to 69. And the local Fire recovery continues 2-0 with goals from Van der Vaart and Jacques. Rob Sloth has seen enough there. Salas off for Kerr. Kerr in a 2 with Gattuso. D'Alessandro in the hole. And Rob, I'm just going to pop an arrow on D'Alessandro unless you tell me otherwise. And Scotty, we'll just have a look over at you. We've suddenly got 3 players on 8s. Rafael van der Vaart is only on a 6, despite his goal. Nothing to worry about condition-wise. Alan Smith on a booking since coming on. He definitely has had an impact. And you'd suspect that Scotty is going to go as is, so we'll just give him a couple of seconds or so to decide what he wants to do there. Arrows off central DMs and Kaka for red. Thank you very much for your promptness, boys. And we will roll. 69 minutes played, 72 minutes. Smith, and there is Alan Smith. Where have the local Fire boys pulled this recovery from? Wow, it's 4. This is a bumming out of nowhere. A second half bumming for the Sloths boys. 8 shots in the space of 45 minutes, and what a result that is for a recovering and resurgent local Fire. Gio van Bronckhorst with a 10. Rafael van der Vaart on an 8, 6 at half time. Van Bronckhorst has popped up with 2 assists in the space of 45 minutes. And Rob Sloth from the sidelines lets the players know exactly what he thinks. Oliver Kahn was on an 8 at half time, turns it into a 5 at full time. It's absolutely bizarre. I don't think we've ever seen that. Well played, Scotty, and unlucky to the Slothman. Over to Memphis Reigns versus Des Moines. Rocks goes as is. Everyone for sale from Rocks. From Rob, Rocks goes as is. And again, Memphis Reigns' performances have been better, but the results have unfortunately not followed suit. Over to the Mega Horse. Sebastian Yepes is injured, as is Zizi Roberts. Sorry, Yepes is suspended. Van Nistelrooy is injured, so it's Roberts and Lucenhoff that comes in, and a slightly different, no, same bench. And did you specify a captain, Mega Horse? Thank you very much. You did. You even reminded me last night when I was having me flood in my kitchen that it was Lucenhoff. And I'm even going to check it because I doubt myself now. Best of luck to both managers. It is the Memphis Reigns against the Des Moines Demons, and we are underway. Des Moines are one of those kind of middle of the road teams at the minute. They're not kind of on sub 10 points, but they're definitely not up at the kind of upward ends of 22, 23 as some of the other teams that are flying. So you'd think that Dan would be looking at this, hoping that it's 3 points in the bag before a ball's kicked. A lot of chances for Des Moines. Exeter just had a double chance from a rebound, but didn't put it in the back of the net. Lucenhoff's name's been mentioned. Dyer, Lucenhoff, Vieira. Memphis Reigns can't even get a hold of the ball at this minute in time. Can they have a sucker punch goal before half time? Corner kick. Paredes in there. Solis. Big save from Toldo. 41 minutes played. Valtellina, Paredes. Des Moines have just fell off a little bit there before half time, and felt like it was a hell of a lot more than 2 shots. just a weird first half of football. That Extaburia on an unusual 5. He's one of Mega Horse's favourites in terms of consistency and performances, but he's not really doing anything there for him tonight. ZZ Roberts on a 6 and a booking, coming in for Van Nistelrooy. Potentially going to see Yahaya in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Volodenkov on for someone at some point. Over at the Memphis Reigns, we're not going to make any changes on Rock's behalf. Manatadidis is on a 7 and 6s for the rest. Horse plays till 60, so to 60 we go. You feel that Des Moines a bit like a local fire, probably just need one. They do get one. Can they get a second before the 60-minute click, 59 minutes played? See, Dan could have had a brace. We are seeing the resurgence of some champ myths tonight. Van der Vaart and Zidane both having an impact for their team. Zidane, of course, on debut is the Mega Horse, the man to get a tune out of Zizou. Exactly, Savage. Zidane, indeed. Potentially going to just be tempted to cover the booking from Honshu on a pretty poor looking Kamuna, to be fair. Usually looks a hell of a lot better than that. And we might see Volodenkov for Extaburia with a weird backward arrow. Rob Sloth is still absolutely livid at that 30-minute performance from his team, 37-minute performance from his team. We'll jump over to Roxy just while we wait. Nothing massive in terms of conditions, no real rationale to change anything in his absence. And we will go Extaburia off for Volodenkov, switch with Bauma, and then put Bauma to the left of Roberts with no arrow on either. Appreciate the clarity and precision of those changes, horse. And we will roll to full time, 68 minutes played. Volodenkov scoops over the ball. You think it's probably just a case of when rather than if, and there is it down with a brace. Oh, it's offside. ZZ Roberts is offside, and it is Stefan Honshu who is injured. We said he needs maybe a little bit of a sending off risk. Horse, I'm just going to put Kamuna on, and you can tell me if you want to do anything different. I can't say anything standing out there unless you want to do something a bit weird with Max Teneto, but I don't think that'll be the case. Tato saying it's the sign of the apocalypse. Van der Vaart and Zidane both scoring in the same night. Imagine they both get like braces or hat tricks in the same night. 81 minutes played. Can the Memphis Reigns get themselves back into it? Toldo can't hold on to it. They've done very little, but it would only take one mistake from the keeper to put them backwards. 88 minutes played. Header by Zidane again. Zidane very nearly had another chance to put his team 2-0 up. They're not needed. And they do hold on to full time, having had absolutely the better of the text and the better of the stats as well. Yeah, Scott does make a really good point. Van der Vaart has been on fire for weeks. He's been integral to that local fire resurgence. Actually, Memphis Reigns ratings don't all look that bad for Manatadidis gets man of the match. That's probably very generous there. What a weird set of match stats that is for a team that only had 2 shots on target and were absolutely bummed in the text. Horse just saying that he does absolutely love a 1-0. He's had a fair few of them. Over to the Bisons versus the Gators. Haven't seen Dan Gazelles in the chat, so we'll go to Steam Pigs first. Sorry, Tato. We'll go to the Steam Pigs against Pelham. The only change they make, or the only 2 changes they make, is Shevchenko comes in to the first 11 and Franca is in for Edu. The Steam Pigs, who were rampantly scoring until they met that Des Moines 1-0 specialists. Oh, brilliant. Okay, Dan, I'll come to you next, mate. Reminds us of the season when Everton just had 1-0s for fun and did really, really well. And were boring, but were actually competitive. Over at the Pelham Pumas, Dimble is an as-is. And this is kind of a team that is quietly and sneakily just building up some momentum. 5 wins in their last 6. You know, a lot of goals being scored now. And yeah, just signs of it really clicking for Dims. Best of luck to both in the Dimble Steerite derby. And there is Ronaldinho. He turned up on Sunday night for the East Coast Cosmos, and he's turned up there tonight for the Pelham Pumas, their sister club. Vincenzo Montella puts his team 2-0 up. Steam Pigs have now got it all to do. Could they go for another game? And there, I was just about to ask the question if they were going to go another game without scoring, but there are the Steam Pigs, and it's 2-1. What a hoffer of football this is. We maybe should have saved this for the last game of the night, because it did look very entertaining in the text, even if the match stats don't reflect it. Over to Dims, little bit of a mixed bag there. Kavakaladze coming in for Unis, yeah, really doing well in that DMC line, and Ronaldinho turning up with an assist and a goal to add to his other 5 goals that he's got so far this season. Montella, who has been really good for Dims so far this season, 7 goals, 3 assists, 2 man of the match performances inside 13 goals. And yeah, the Steerite AMC derby is in full life tonight with Franca coming in to that position. I think Dimble will go as is, but we'll just pull him up anyway. Condition-wise, nothing to worry about. And over at the Steam Pigs. Even in that Des Moines game, they weren't particularly bad. They just weren't particularly great, but that is poor. Both go as is. Stay right back in the boys. It's a very attacking MC pairing in Riquelme and Kuhl. And part of us just thinks that you maybe miss out on some tackles with both of them in that MC position. 65 minutes played, we've missed the click. Clive with a chance, but big save from Sebastian Frey to keep his side hanging on at the moment. Over to Stay Right's Iowa Steam Pigs. Some of those 7s have turned to 8s from Franca and also from Contra. We probably think there's going to be a change here in terms of Kuhl and Riquelme. And as I say, that looks to be missing a cracker in that Villa and Olympiacos game. Villa pulled it back to 2s each. Olympiacos have just went ahead 3-2 from the penalty spot. Over to Pelham Pumas, 8 in all the right areas, really, from those creative players that you want to be creating chances. Conditions-wise, nothing to worry about for Dimble. Potentially, Agahawa is kind of a change he likes to do, but you'd probably be really reluctant. Maybe Kaluzhny for Vogel might come as well. Stee is the one that blinks first. Franca, central striker. Kuhl, AMC. Riquelme, central. Mini arrow on Kuhl 2. Like that, Stee. I'll come back to that, mate. Can you just confirm that you're happy with that? And over at the Steam Pigs. Over at the Pelham Pumas, rather. Over at the Steam Pigs. No change for Dims. We'll just wait for the confirmation from Steve that is what he was after. Kind of want some mad inward long arrows to AMC there, I think. Riquelme arrow 2. There we go. Brilliant. Fantastic. And we will roll until full time. Montella with a chance. The second penalty of the evening, and the Pelham Pumas are rolling on. Contra Vogel trying to get involved there. Montella, can he get his hat-trick? Ronaldinho steps up, whips it in. Cole with a corner. And there is his hat-trick. Right on the final whistle. Vincenzo Montella is the match winner tonight. And what a Montella that looks to be. That is now 9 goals inside 13 games with 3 assists and probably 3 man of the matches. Absolutely lethal. Hoping he can replicate that for Sancte in the Super League. Over to the Steam Pigs. 5s for Jaap Stam and Zielius. Probably never seen them both get a 5 in the same game. Just not good enough for Stee, and maybe a bit too attacking in the MC with Riquelme and Kuhl. They've only made, well, they've not made any successful tackles between them. Compare that to Pelham, and you've got the powerhouses of Petit, Vogel, and Kaladze having made a decent amount of tackles. What was Stee's tackle percentage out of interest? Tackles won, so they've won half of all the tackles, but actually they've just made a very shit number of tackles. What have we got there? 10, 15, 23, 25, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 tackles, 6, 10, 23, 33, 36, 41, 45, 50, 56. Yeah, I got a bit more in there, didn't I? Old school Super League. Over to the last game of the evening, which is the Bisons against the Gators. Bisons, who are first in their Eastern Conference and one of the form teams across the whole of the league, who do welcome Ryan Giggs back tonight. Over to the Gators, who have been pretty decent over the last kind of couple of weeks, if unspectacular, but they still find themselves on 20 points. So at present, 20 points to 27 between these two teams. And in terms of changes that the Gators make, they bring Killy Gonzalez into MC and also Anelka into striker. Is that a debut for Anelka, or did he play last game? It is a debut for Big Dick Nick, and we will see how the two boys get on. Yeah, Dimble team that scores, mate. Yeah, again, signs of the apocalypse. Van der Vaart being a player, Zidane scoring goals, Dimble's team scoring. Yeah. All we need now is a Tato team not playing 3 DMCs, and it'll definitely be the sign of the apocalypse. Bit end to end this. Rui Costa with a half a chance. Sol Campbell gets in the way. Sol Campbell seems to be holding up the flood, holding back the flood there at the back. Nicky Franco up. Oh, and Buffon sent off. Could be a game changer for the entire game. I imagine it'll be Killy Gonzalez that comes off for Dida. And he'll go to 2 MCs with keeping the rest in there. Tato, if you just let me know if you intend to make any changes or not. I also irrationally enjoy Tottenham getting bummed. I like Tottenham as a club, but the whole Ange Postecoglou thing of defend the refs, mate, and all that sort of stuff earlier in the season, he can get fucked. How the tables have turned. Dan, if you just want to confirm what you want to do with your MC arrows, if that's all right. Just because you're going to probably go 1-0 behind here. I just want to get it right for you, mate. 10 minutes to go until half time. Of course, you're sticking with the 3 DMCs, mate. It's a great, great formation. All joking aside, it is Mourinho who takes the penalty. Of course, he did score one earlier in the season, and he misses the penalty to put the Bisons ahead. Bisons, who's probably edged it. Mourinho has scored a pen this season. Didn't want to think I was making that up. Over at the Bisons, Giggs offered very little on his return there, although he does find himself on an 8. And yeah, probably just as is from Tato, I would imagine. Over at the Gators, of course, losing the keeper kind of robs them of another potential change. I suspect we will see an as is from Dan as well. Maybe Takua comes off at some point. Van Bommel drops back, but we shall see. What I'll do tonight, lads, is I'll upload the save straight away. And then if anybody that needs a pack can let me know, I'll then do packs probably later on tonight or tomorrow. I've got to go and do a little bit of work for tomorrow. MVB for Verduga. To top. Totti into MC. No EMC. And then Dan, if you just let us know what you want to do with those arrows, my man. Tato, if you can let me know what you intend on doing there, boy. And we will see what you want to get up to. We already said as is. Brilliant. So Dan, if we just get some clarification on your. Oh, sorry. Yeah, thank you very much. We took that for Costa. Thank you. Brilliant. Cheers. Thanks, boys. And we go to 60 minutes. We jump past 60 minutes on 71 minutes with a what a goal that would have been. 71 minutes played on the click. Pizarro on 79%. Nothing else condition-wise, although Tato firmly believes it's a myth. Nicky Ferenko again failing to do anything from that AMC position. He's been really, really poor so far. I think we'll probably see Ronaldo coming on for him, I would imagine. And we will jump over to the Gators who do go to play on, but we'll just show Dan what he's looking at. And we'll go back to the Bisons. Tamatsi would look good in pink, says the hairy ballsack. Stay right. Oh, big text from the Spud man. Nicky Franco up for Ronaldo and push him up top. Extend the arrows to the limit. Hussein on for Pizarro. And move Keenan Mendieta to MC. Diag arrow on Mendieta. Thank you very much. Really clear that. Appreciate it, my man. And we roll until full time as the Bisons go for the kill. And it is Dario Hussein and a Giggs assist on that Dario Hussein goal. Rossini draws a double save from the ever solid Dida. 3 minutes added on, free kick given. Gators are probably going to be on the wrong end of this result. The red card having had a massive impact on the bodies that they have in that midfield. Good changes from Tato. He's done that a couple of times this season. And it is the Bisons who hang on for a 1-0 win, deservedly so. And it was just a little bit too much of an ask for Gators to hold back that flood. It was a Giggs assist. Some really solid ratings, and Sol Campbell continues to be a beast. 6 is there in the kind of the engine room of that formation. Absolutely suffered as a result of Buffon. It's probably one where the Gators just have to take their medicine and move on. Brings us to the classifieds. A local fire with the performance of the night with a second half ballroom blitz against the Sloths. Jacques van der Vaart and Alan Smith brace. The Moines Demons 1-0 against the Memphis Reigns. Pelham 4-1 Steam Pigs. And the Gators on the wrong end of a refereeing decision. Brings us to the leagues. Bisons far and away the lead team. Alcatraz have dropped from the top spot of the Central, and it's the local Fire and Dandies who'll be battling it out next round of fixtures. They do play each other on Sunday night. Shorepump Sloths have been lingering on 12 points for a while now. Fixtures on Sunday, the Reims versus Drivetrain. It's a full slate. Bisons against Vikings and Alcatraz against Pelham. Dandies against the local Fire. Sloths against the Moines, and the Steam Pigs against the Gators. I shall get the save uploaded straight away, boys. And then if you just give us a nudge if you need a pack, and I can box them off probably tonight, maybe tomorrow, depending on the amount of work I get done between now and then, to be honest, lads. So yeah, cheers for bearing with us last night, and we'll see you on Sunday, boys. Comms available.